Welcome back, decoders, to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody. Hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I want to do what I would call the Blackout is Commencing Part 2. So if you're new to the channel or it's been a while since you watched the video, please go back and find the first version of this video on my channel. Now, this video was made before I knew the Super Bowl teams. And you might want to go back and watch that video to get kind of an overview of all the predictive programming that they've been giving us for blackouts and a new Carrington event. So I'll talk about that in a minute, but the numbers I want to focus on here, they're not the 546 like circled in this picture. However, I want you guys to notice that the Eagles and Chiefs who made it to the Super Bowl come into the Super Bowl with the exact same record, 16-3, and the exact same amount of points scored on the season. And when you type Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl LVII, it's 546. Okay, so just to get that crazy sync out of the way, I mean, just think about the mind. I mean, how is it even possible that the two teams come in with the same record and the same amount of points scored? Okay? Absolutely ridiculous. And on top of that, when you type in the whole phrase of the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl LVII, it's 546. What are the chances? And also notice the 222, order out of chaos equals 222, 777, the jackpot number. But let's talk about the 163s, because both teams come in to this Super Bowl with a 16-3, 163 record, okay? And this number is going to be the main number you guys are going to look at this whole decode. I'm going to show you the crazy sync that really is pretty interesting with this number 163, okay? The first thing you guys need to know is that the biggest ever and most intense geomagnetic storm in recorded history was called the Carrington event that happened in September 1st and 2nd, 1859, okay? September 1st and 2nd, 1859, the Carrington event, the biggest solar storm causing massive blackouts on Earth, okay? And now you have these articles popping up as our sun has supposedly been very active. Now, I don't know what I believe and what I don't believe about this, but the reality is this is the narrative they're giving us. So I'm just following the narrative that they're giving us. And this article goes into detail about how the sun has two giant sunspots that are capable of going off at any moment in the near future. And with the Super Bowl being only 3 days away, I'm going to show you why the Super Bowl is very interesting when it comes to this blackout, especially because both teams come in with a record of 163. And I'm going to show you why that's really important. Okay? But before that, guys, remember I made a lot of noise about this match in WWE that they had on the 28th of January called the Pitch Black match, the first ever match in WWE that was called the Pitch Black match, which obviously references power outages, going pitch black. And you're going to notice it was between these two wrestlers right here, Bray Wyatt and LA Knight, okay? Bray Wyatt's the one that's looking like the demon there. And LA Knight's the one that kind of has the sunglasses. So let's just go over, just keep all these things in your mind as we go to the numbers, okay? Now, the Eagles, who are in the Super Bowl, had a very ominous video this year when they released their black uniforms. If you guys want to watch the video, just go find it on their website. It's called The Blackout is Commencing. And that's why I called this video The Blackout is Commencing Part 2. But now that I made this video, the first video I made was based off of this Eagles phrase, the blackout is commencing. However, I didn't know the Eagles were going to be in the Super Bowl at that time. But now that they're in the Super Bowl with exactly a 163 record, I'm going to show you why it's very ominous on why they decided to release this blackout is commencing video. Okay? Because in the video, they show literally a black on Earth. I mean, of the United States. I mean, you can see right here, I just screenshotted image of it after the lights went out, but I assure you that before this the lights were on and they have the lights going out. Okay, and again, this is the team that's in the Super Bowl. And just notice that the blackout is commencing. The phrase that they use on their video is 163. Now, what is their record at the Super Bowl, guys? It's 163, 16-3. And as a matter of fact, both teams are 16-3. Now, 163 is the 38th prime number. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But, okay, what's the chances of that? But let's just add more to this. Solar flare equals 163. And remember, the Carrington event, this is all about solar flares, guys. So what is the chances that their phrase they use on the video for the blackout is 163, like a solar flare that could cause a blackout, which is tied to the Carrington event? Okay. Now, this is where it gets crazy, because I told you that both teams have a record of 16-3. The blackout is commencing equals 163. Solar flare equals 163. Now, let's take a measurement from the Carrington event to the Super Bowl and just look at this. What are the chances? I told you that both teams are playing and their records are 1-6-3. And from the Carrington event, the exact date of the Carrington event to the Super Bowl is 163, 163 days. Wow. Absolutely mind-blowing to me. Also, considering the solar flare and the blackout is commencing, both verify this number is huge. And now, what are the chances of this? So we're in the 163rd year anniversary of this blackout, and the Super Bowl is exactly on the 163rd day. That is not a coincidence. Okay? And if that wasn't enough, the 163 is the 38th prime, and LeBron James, the king, just got done paying a huge tribute to the number 38, as I showed in my last video. So again, this 163 is tied to LeBron James because of all his 38 rituals. Okay? He was 38 years old. He broke a 38-year-old record. You guys can read it right there. Everything. And he scored 38 points. I talked about this in my last video if you want more details. All right? But I want you to notice that the points that his team were on when he scored the record, they were on 99 points. That's going to come into play here in a minute. But I also wanted to point out, guys, that the year 23, we're in the year 23rd year of the 2000s, also equals 163. Okay? Again, both teams coming in 163. The Carrington event, the Super Bowl is on the 163rd and 163 day anniversary of the Carrington event. Okay? And there was a Super Bowl that was tied to a blackout, because during Super Bowl in 2013, the Ravens and 49ers, there was a blackout at the Super Bowl. Okay? It's not written in this thing here, but just take my word for it. There was a blackout during this Super Bowl. Okay? And that was exactly 3661 days to this Super Bowl. Remember, the number I've been talking about consists of a 163, and this number is not so far different from that number. I know it's not the same number, but notice that it contains the same three numbers, the 1, 6, and 3, just like all these other 163s. From that blackout Super Bowl to this blackout to this Super Bowl, which is all lined up with the Carrington event and blackouts. Okay? And if that wasn't enough, the guy that was in the blackout match, the pitch black match, Bray Wyatt, was born on May 23rd, which is written 5/23. And from that Super Bowl, the blackout Super Bowl, to this, this Super Bowl is exactly 523 weeks, okay, which is the 99th prime. And I just told you that when LeBron James hit his record, the 38 record, all those 38s, he was on 99 points for his team, which ties back to this 523 number. And what's the chances that the guy that's in the pitch black match, the guy that won the match, has the birthday of 523, And from the Blackout Super Bowl is 523 weeks exactly, which is the 99th prime, tying back to LeBron James and his team's 99 points. Okay, and this 99 ties back to Jupiter, and Jupiter is Zeus. And in last year's Super Bowl, Arnold Schwarzenegger from Germany, with the Germany connection, Germany equals 38. Okay, he knocks out the power in last year's Super Bowl. So maybe that was predictive programming for this year's Super Bowl. And Jupiter, Zeus is Jupiter, and in Gematria, Jupiter equals 99. That's why I said that. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to present this information. I'm not saying it's going to happen on that day exactly. Maybe it's just saying that it's going to happen in the year 2023 at some point, and I believe that it will. So we will see, but I hope you guys take care out there. Thanks for all the new people joining. I really appreciate all of you guys. I'll see you in the next video.